We all follow the West Ham over land and sea. We all follow the West Ham on to victory. All together now. I thought I'd come on and do a random quick stream. It probably won't be long, probably a few minutes, but we'll see. You know, if people see that we're live and people jump in and people say hello, who's to say? You never know. Sometimes it can take off and become a little bit more fun. But my plan is just a few minutes. I was chatting to some people about the game. First of all, what a result! What a result! I don't think there's many West Ham fans that would have told you they expected a 3-1 victory against Chelsea. I did think we'd win 2-1, but a couple of standout things. First of all, Alvarez looks pretty decent. Happy Hammerette, yes, good to see you. What a win! God, I'm buzzing. I mean, I'm probably going to be chastised a little for this, but you know, in America, you have to drive to get anywhere. So I had to wait a good hour and a half after the pub before I could drive home. And I've now since had a little more after getting home. So, yes, Robert Singleton in the building. Yes. But yeah, what a result. And I think, I didn't see it coming. The pub was crazy today. It was so much fun. Richard, good to see you. Legend. Say hello to Jake and the missus for me. All right, bring on Brighton. Let's just hold off with Brighton. Let's just enjoy what we've got now, because Chelsea have been shit for a while, and Brighton are good. So I'm not getting too carried away yet. But I am very excited. Excited about the result. Excited about how we played. Larry's in the building. Good to see you, Lawrence. Play better with 10 men. Yeah, we really did dominate. You know, what's funny, they probably over in the UK, they probably wouldn't have made anything out of this because it's, you know, it kind of an American thing. But on the broadcast, the American commentators were making quite a big deal about Aguerd being clapped off the field when he got sent off. You know, the commentators were saying like, this doesn't make any sense. They're, it might have been Graham Lasso, probably Graham Lasso, you know, that moron. Graham Lassoza. It's 2023. I don't want to get cancelled, so I won't complete that chant. But if you know, you know. What are their letters now, right? I, if you know, I, Y. Anyway, you can figure it out. But yeah, I mean, look, it's passion. He scored the goal. He scored the first goal. Cracking header. James Ward-Prowse. I mean, someone asked me before the game what I thought about James Ward-Prowse. They're like, you didn't want him, did you? I'm like, no, I definitely want him. We have struggled with someone that takes set pieces for a while. I mean, how many years did we have to suffer Mark Noble taking corners? I love Mark Noble. It's nothing against Mark Noble, but he weren't a set piece master. He was no Alessandro Diamante. He was no Dimitri Payet. Cresswell's got a good free kick in him. But finally, James Ward-Prowse, we've got someone who can really do something with a dead ball. You know, I saw Messi the other day, you know, one of my buddies. No, I don't know him, but he came here to play against FC Dallas. And he just scored this ridiculous free kick. You know, and it made me think like, God, West Ham have struggled with set piece takers. So happy to see Ward-Prowse. And then, yeah, like half an hour, we had 10 men on the field. And you're right. They spent 115 million on a midfielder who gave away, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're having a competition. Souček and Caicedo, who can give away the more stupid penalty. And I mean, I know people have slagged off Souček for a while. I'm not one of them. I try and give him benefit of the doubt, and I really hope this season he'd come into his own again. But I mean, that was a terrible, terrible foul. It's one of those that you do outside the area because you're like, you know what? I'm not going to risk him going in. I'll take him out on the edge of the box. We'll have a free kick. It will probably be fine from a free kick. But he did it in the area. You know, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Alvarez looked solid when he came on. I'll say the pub here in Dallas that we go to, there was an army of Mexicans showed up today for his debut. And Alvarez is getting us, honestly, I see more excitement from my Mexican friends in America from Alvarez than I did when we signed Chicharito, which is surprising because you'd have thought Chicharito being a legend that would have brought more people in. Oh, look. Good old Budge sending me. Honestly, I don't give a shit if you don't hit the like button. I mean, I don't. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to like it. This is another if you know moment. You know, if you're part of the gang, if you're in the live chat, brilliant. We'll have a bit of a laugh. And if you're not, nah, go fuck yourself. No, my bad. You know, sorry. This is during the day. I should watch my language. It's pretty terrible. Wow, happy for real? 7 home games in a row without defeat against Chelsea. I mean, there's some memorable ones. There's the Arthur Masuaku wonder goal. But I thought that was at Stamford Bridge. That's a really good stat. And I don't know if that's good because it shows our growth or good because it shows how shit Chelsea are. Thanks. You're the best, Budge. You're the best. But, you know, you can like it. I mean, by all means, I won't be mad about it. But, you know, I just do this for shits and giggles. Talking of which, my friend Clint Hill, he's an American. And what's funny with the name Clint, very American, but you think of a capital L and an I and you put them together and that makes his nickname. So that's what I call him. But he got these designed. Look at the hats. Dallas Hammers. Forever blowing bubbles. I mean, I was pretty impressed with it. Pretty cool. Not. I know Larry over here is more bothered about the West Ham flag. First time I've been on here and haven't heard any a quote at trying to auction it from me. But everyone's on the Larry right now. Happy, Budgie, Larry. We got any more E's? Robbie, Richie, Streamy. They're all together in the chat. What's up, StreamYard? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here with us today. No, not Clit. Not Clit. Sweet child of mine. I was thinking capital here. I'll post it together. Capital L and an I. Now, you look at the chat and imagine that the L and the I were joined together, okay? Like here. If there was a little line in there. You all right? We got there yet? I know some of us in the chat are a little slow today. It's okay. You should have been drinking. You should be shit-faced. It was West Ham. But here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. Luton had their match this weekend against Burnley postponed because their shithole of a stadium isn't ready yet for Premier League football. Now, we are due to go and play them in 2 weeks' time. And I was just talking to a friend about this. And I'm like, if by the time that game comes around, Luton's ground, Kenilworth Shed, is not ready for a match, then we should be given 3 points. You know, I'm very much and here's why I think there should be no negotiation. Look, Burnley game, fine. I get it. We want to show them grace. We're not trying to screw them over. They're already going to be hard to stay in the Premier League. But look, Burnley aren't in Europe. West Ham are in 4 competitions this season. We've got a Europa League that's going to be starting up pretty soon. We don't have time for these sort of matches to be rescheduled later in the season. And as far as I'm concerned, look at Tottenham. As much as I hate them, their stadium weren't ready. So what did they do? They played their games in Wembley Stadium. And so as far as I'm concerned, if that Luton game doesn't go ahead in 2 weeks' time, we need to be given 3 points. Or they need to just come to Upton Park. Fucking hell. Sorry, I regressed. I went back 10 years. Go to the London Stadium and play us there, or even neutral, somewhere else. But we need to play that game in 2 weeks' time. James Bong is in the building. Good to see you. Yeah, everyone loving each other in the chat. Brilliant. Love to see it. You can't fit the game in. You can't. I mean, look, to me, it's a matter of like fairness. And it isn't. Oh, sorry. That's my Rebecca goat, you know, good old Rebecca Atherton. This is my little Rebecca goat. Sounds nearly as, you know, that's why you don't see her on streams anymore because, you know, she sounds like this. So it's a legend though. We used to do it's up. If you go back in the YouTube vaults on American Hammers TV, Hammer Shots. I used to run a quiz show. We did 2 seasons of it. And then I died and I decided, you know what? It's not worth my life. Yeah, I agree. That's pretty special. If I wouldn't get cancelled, I'd use the word retarded, but apparently you're not allowed to say that anymore because, it's 2023 and rules. So I'm sorry, people. Sorry to offend people. But yeah, good times. So we need to play that game. I will say my fantasy team, I talked about this a few weeks ago. I've got a fantasy team. They're doing shit, like really bad. The Americans are all ahead of me. It's a little embarrassing, truth be told. But I feel like I've had a lot of bad luck. I put Kevin De Bruyne in. He got, dead. I put Madison in. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get rid of my bias. I put a Spurs player in because I think he'll do well. And then here we go. Dead. I put Barack Mbamba in. Hasn't had a minute yet for West Ham, even though he played pre-season. So I thought he'd get to play. Yeah, my heartbeat's pretty fire. I mean, you can't see it, but inside there's a defibrillator, which I like to call my smuggle what I like into a stadium relator because they don't, they don't let you go through a metal detector. Oh, Larry, who cares about Jake's league? That's the Povo League. I'm in a big money $100 a team league, which, I didn't really want to do, but I've done. But yeah, that's the league that matters. I haven't even looked at Jake's league. Honestly, I haven't looked at any of the other leagues because I'm doing badly. Now, if I'd have done well, I'd probably look at where I am to give this sort of banter. But yeah. Well, Happy, can you give me your tactics, please? Who do I need in my team? Who are your must-have players? What's your secret sauce, Happy? Please tell me. Yeah, they did. It was a great performance. Really good performance. I like it here. I don't know where here. Yeah, I've no idea. Where's that? I know it's stupid because the league just started, but let's see. Where does that put us in the waste of time current table? The thing you only look at when you've won a game because otherwise it's irrelevant. That table. After 2 games, I know it doesn't matter, but we are 6th place. Steady, but very steady. Top of the table game next week, though, as you all know, we're playing Brighton. Brighton are currently in 1st place. Best team in the country. Let's be honest. The Premier League's the best league in the world. So some could argue that Brighton are the best team in the world right now. They'd be stupid. It would be a bad argument, but they could argue it. So, you actually died? I know, it was years ago now. Everyone's over it. I'm over it. No West Ham. Yeah, hashtag me too. I don't have any West Ham players in my team. I know, but we're playing Brighton. If we weren't playing Brighton next, I'd consider Paqueta. But we are playing Brighton next. So, you're moving. Oh. Well, I don't know what your pay grade is, Larry. I don't know if you're a $1 billion high flyer working for some bank as a executive vice president on 7 figures a year. If you're on that sort of money, then absolutely we can talk because a dollar's a penny to you. So if $1 is a penny to you, you got this. James Bond asking the questions that are actually questions. I appreciate you. Keep me on track here. We're talking about West Ham. Star players today, what do you think? Who do you think played the best today in the chat? Antonio, very well taken goal. I mean, let's be honest. He does have to miss 99 of them to score that one. But it was nice for that one to happen. And it was good to see it. I think when Alvarez came on, he was solid. I'd really like to see him take Souček's place. I think he earned it. Ben Rama, no, we're talking about star players. I'll go back to Ben Rama. Areola saved a penalty. Couple of times his distribution might not have been great, but I think Areola was good today. Very good. I think Zuma was solid as always. Aguerd, before he got sent off, was very, very good. Poor decision making, really. But yeah, we won, so it doesn't really matter. Fornals, when he came on, as he always does, plays with his heart on his sleeve. I do love Pablo Fornals, but let's talk about Ben Rama. Yeah, we won't draw at Brighton. Well, I hope so. Burnley can't. Well, you can join in as well, Happy. Okay, so Ben Rama. I really would like to see him not start next game. I really just don't think I don't think he's good enough. I've actually, for people who, I know that no one really ever watches this channel, and but for a few years, probably 3-4 years, I've shown up on some West Ham YouTube bullshit. I wouldn't, as you know, you people that are watching, you watch YouTube. So I'm hardly a YouTuber. I wouldn't describe myself that way. But from the beginning, when we first got Ben Rama, I said the same thing then that I'm going to say now. I said, I think there's potential there, but I worry that he's not really good enough for West Ham. It's not really good enough to be a European team starting 11 player. And I think that I'm at the point now where if he hasn't been able to grow to this point, and it's still the same old shit, his decision making in the final third is just not good enough. He always wants to take an extra touch of the ball. He always shoots when sometimes there's a better pass. He doesn't like to track back all the time. He sometimes forgets. His concentration isn't there. And I'm not saying that he's a shit player. I'm just saying that I think that with for the first time probably in our history, you'll have to fact check me, we've been in European competitions 3 years in a row. And if we want to attain that as West Ham, we need to be looking at players who are some of the best in the world. And I just don't think Ben Rama is that. I just don't. I think there's better. I'd rather us try Cornetto, whatever the hell you want to call him. Yeah, I would rather he got some games and we see how good he is. Get some youngsters in from other teams. Get some of the Man City kids in maybe. If they're going to sign Paqueta. He just dips too much. Dips, is that like the nicotine dips? Dips in, I don't know. What do you mean by dips? Drips, drops, dips, daps. And I get it. All right. We got sexual. Okay. There's a surprise. Happy getting sexual with James Bong in the chat. Hopefully there's no kids watching. Of course there's no kids watching. Kids don't watch this shit. But yeah, no, it's nice. Well, I'm glad we got a bit sexual in the chat. That's a good time to think about the end. So just wanted to come in, chat some shit. Love a cheeky little dib and dab. But yeah, stay positive, love your lives. We're going to this was fun. Every now and then I'll pop back on, usually when I've been drinking or something else. And but yeah, much love to you all. Also, RIP. I'd like to shout out a little RIP to West Ham Clips, who there's no way to retire like making a video of the things that you say you're not going to make anymore. I did this just to try, and I've decided I'm not going to make these videos anymore. But here's another video that I've made to show you that I'm not making videos anymore. Good way to end, good non-committal way. I'm sure we'll dig him up and he'll be back. We'll plug him back in to a wall and hear from him again, I'm sure. And I'm sure at some point he'll see this and give me some shit. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Larry. Thank you, Happy. Thanks for watching, the few of you that did. Once again, as I always like to say, if you're watching this on the repeat, get a life. If you weren't here when it happened, don't go back to it. You're trying to drag something that's already gone. So just as a reminder, don't bother watching these. If you want to go back and watch some history, watch Peach. Watch Peach, because Peach was entertaining. I am not. Love you all. Stay positive. Love your lives. Clips will be back. I'll be back. I don't know where, don't know when, but